Most people think North Korea is poor, isolated, and struggling to survive. You won't believe, but they've secretly become one of the world's richest nations. North Korea's hackers have built a web of secret connections that stretch into global banks, political campaigns, and even events that impact your everyday life. And watch this video till the end because I'm going to reveal how these terrifying hackers are building a hidden empire of power and influence that you won't believe. Let's go back to 2019. North Korea portrays itself as a struggling nation cut off from global trade and barely able to feed its people. But behind the scenes, a secret operation was unfolding in a small, dimly lit room in Pyongyang. Inside, young men sat at computers, their faces glowing from the screens. They were not ordinary workers. These were elite hackers, trained by the North Korean government.
Their mission?
To steal money and use it to create an empire in the shadows. That year, they were about to pull off one of the most shocking cyber heists in history. The target was Coincheck, a major cryptocurrency exchange in Japan. It was a regular day at Coincheck until it wasn't. In a matter of minutes, $500 million worth of NEM coins disappeared from Coincheck's vaults. The entire world was stunned. How could such a massive amount vanish without a trace? Governments, banks, and crypto enthusiasts were left with one burning question. Where did the money go? The heist was so meticulously planned and flawlessly executed that it left little evidence. Behind this operation was the Lazarus Group, North Korea's notorious hacking unit, known for pulling off some of the most daring cybercrimes in history. But this wasn't just about stealing money, it was about building a network of influence and control that stretched far beyond North Korea's borders.
For months, there was silence.
No one knew where the stolen cryptocurrency had gone, and attempts to track it down hit a dead end. But then, traces of the money began to resurface in the most unexpected places. Cybersecurity experts started finding that portions of the stolen funds had been funneled through a labyrinth of fake companies and offshore accounts. Some of these funds were laundered through seemingly legitimate businesses, with money bouncing between countries, making it nearly impossible to trace. And then came the bombshell: some of this money was used to back political campaigns. Yes, you heard that right. Stolen cryptocurrency was being funneled into political campaigns in countries like the US and Europe. The money came in the form of donations from shell companies, disguised so well that even the campaigns receiving them didn't know, or didn't want to know, where it was coming from. Rumors began to circulate that these donations had even reached high-profile political figures, including campaigns linked to Joe Biden and Donald Trump. North Korea, a country everyone thought was isolated and starving, was secretly funding political movements around the world.
Why?
Because they knew that money could buy influence. The story took a darker turn when a cybersecurity expert named John Wilson stumbled upon the digital trail. He had been investigating the Coincheck heist for months when he found the link between the stolen funds and political movements. But hold for a minute my friend, because most of you only watch the video. Please take a moment to hit the subscribe and let's get back to the video. Wilson revealed his findings in a detailed report, but before the story could gain traction, it was buried. Major media outlets refused to cover it, and soon, Wilson found himself pushed to the fringes, his discovery dismissed as a wild conspiracy theory. But the underground internet picked up where the mainstream left off, and whispers of North Korea's involvement spread like wildfire. As the story unraveled, a name surfaced from the shadows: Jong Yoli. Jong was known as a genius hacker within the Lazarus Group, the same group that had pulled off the Sony Pictures hack in 2014. He had a reputation for his ability to break into the most secure systems, from banks to government networks. But there was something darker about Jong. Insiders claim he was more than just a hacker. He was a strategist, someone who played a key role in deciding where and how North Korea would strike next. Rumors began circulating that Jong had access to a treasure trove of stolen information. Data on politicians, businesses, global banks, and more. Then, in 2020, Jong disappeared. One day he was there, carrying out operations, and the next, he was gone without a trace. This led to a flood of theories. Did Jong defect? Was he silenced by the regime? Some say Jong had his own agenda and planned to leak everything he knew, which made him a threat to North Korea. Others believe he knew too many secrets and was taken care of by the government. Jong's disappearance only deepened the mystery and hinted at the darker games being played in Pyongyang. The truth behind North Korea's grand scheme began to leak out in early 2021, when a former operative named Kim Ji-ho managed to defect to South Korea. Kim had been part of Bureau 121, North Korea's top hacking division, and he came bearing secrets that sent shockwaves through intelligence circles. Kim revealed that the Coincheck heist and other cyber attacks were just the tip of the iceberg. The stolen funds weren't just for North Korea's internal use, they were meant to build a network of influence worldwide. According to Kim, the North Korean government specifically targeted politicians who would later turn a blind eye to their operations. They used the stolen funds to support certain political campaigns, making sure they would have allies, or at least neutral parties, in key countries. Kim didn't name specific politicians, but he hinted at several major political movements in Europe and the US as having received these funds. Cybersecurity analysts took Kim's information and began to piece together the puzzle, revealing that the funds had indeed been laundered through various shell companies before ending up in political donations. But it doesn't stop there. Kim Ji-ho also revealed a shocking strategy that North Korea's hackers had been using to manipulate global markets. They didn't just steal cryptocurrency, they controlled it. By hacking into major exchanges and manipulating market movements, they could crash or inflate cryptocurrency prices at will. Here's where it gets even more controversial. Documents leaked from these operations suggested that certain politicians, particularly in Eastern Europe, were given insider information on these market moves. These politicians received tips on when North Korea planned to move the market, allowing them to make millions by buying and selling crypto at just the right moments. It was a hidden alliance between rogue hackers and global politicians, a partnership that turned the financial market into a playground for profit. Kim's revelations painted a picture that was far more sinister than anyone had imagined. North Korea wasn't just stealing money, they were creating a hidden empire, backed by information and influence. Kim claimed that North Korea's hackers had been collecting sensitive data for years, building a database of secrets that included private communications, financial records, and even information on major global corporations. This data was held like a loaded weapon, ready to be used for blackmail or to influence events. Some of the information they held was so damaging that it could ruin political careers and destabilize entire economies. This explains why many global leaders seem reluctant to take a firm stance against North Korea. It's not just about diplomacy, it's about fear. Kim Ji-ho hinted that North Korea had already used its information hoard to blackmail certain figures, ensuring their silence or cooperation. And the most shocking part? Kim suggested that some politicians willingly cooperated, knowing they were dealing with criminals, simply because they had too much to lose if they didn't. All this begs the question, why haven't we heard more about this? Why is the mainstream media so quiet? The answer, some believe, lies in a cover-up orchestrated by those who stand to lose the most if the truth comes out. Politicians involved in these hidden dealings have immense power and influence over media narratives. They control the flow of information, burying stories that could expose their ties to North Korea's dark network. Now, we are left staring at the unsettling reality. North Korea has built an empire in the shadows, using stolen wealth to manipulate global markets, support political campaigns, and maintain a web of control that few people know about. Their hackers, once thought to be just digital thieves, are now seen as part of a much larger operation involving some of the world's most powerful individuals. And the information is out there, thanks to defectors like Kim Ji-ho and experts like John Wilson, who risked everything to bring these secrets to light. So, what do we do with this knowledge? The world now faces a choice. Will we confront these hidden networks and hold those involved accountable, or will the truth continue to be buried under layers of lies and misinformation? One thing is certain, this is far from over. North Korea's influence and control stretch deeper than anyone could have guessed, and as more of these secrets come to light, we'll be here to uncover them. Hit the subscribe button and let me know your opinion in the comments.